Parents, if your child is melting down more than once a day, if they scream and cry and disobey at every turn, or if you find yourself spending your entire day walking on eggshells and dreading your kid's next breakdown, pay very close attention, because in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to reveal the one secret that can transform everything about your relationship with your child. I'm talking about no more daily meltdowns, no more explosive outbursts, no hitting, no fighting, just the calm, loving, connected relationship with your child that you've been dreaming of. They'll be confident, happy, social with other kids, and your relationship with your child will be a joy again. And I'll show you how to do all of this without spanking, hitting, yelling, passive parenting, taking your kid to therapy, or putting your kid on medication. Not only that, but I'm going to show you exactly how 612 other families just like you have put the joy back into parenting and found peace in their home while they watch their child excel in every aspect of life. So please watch this short presentation all the way to the end, because the real solution to all of this is far simpler than you might think and very different from what everyone else is telling you. Your peace of mind and your child's future depend on it. Now, really quick, who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Megan, and I am the world's leading specialist when it comes to helping parents of highly sensitive children transform their relationship with their child and have a happy home free of daily meltdowns. I've been a child mental health therapist for over a decade, and during that time, my focus has been exclusively on helping families with highly sensitive children and teens. I'll talk more about what that means in just a minute. Now, here's the important part. We have a 98.9% success rate, which is virtually unheard of in this industry. And my average client goes from walking on eggshells and daily meltdowns to fun, stress-free parenting where they love spending time with their kid again in as little as 8 weeks. And all of these parents did this without screaming, without fighting, without timeouts, without medication, and even if they've already spent thousands on therapy and gotten nowhere. I'm talking about clients like Julie. She's a single mom with a 10-year-old son. And when Julie came to us, her son was having daily meltdowns. He'd already had 6 months of therapy, neuropsych testing, and was at a special ed school, but Julie was still walking on eggshells and was feeling totally stressed out and overwhelmed. And within just 2 weeks of working with us, the daily meltdowns stopped and they haven't come back. In her own words, Julie went from hating herself and resenting her son to being able to speak in his language, communicate effortlessly, and knowing exactly how to manage his emotions. Then there's Sarah. Her daughter is 13. Despite years of parenting strategies, books, therapists, psychologists, and psychiatry, the family was still witnessing meltdowns multiple times a day, and it was putting a massive strain on her relationship with her husband. After just 30 days, her daughter's meltdowns went from hours of screaming, crying, and fighting to just a few minutes of sporadic tears. She went from never wanting to leave her bed to thriving in school with friends, and there was peace in their home again. And there's Lori and Jeffrey. Their 8-year-old son was acting out so badly that Lori was starting to have panic attacks. Within 2 months of working together, the meltdowns and acting out had stopped, and a whole new world opened up. Today they can go on vacations again. Lori and Jeffrey can have stress-free date nights without worrying about their son. He's happy, entertains himself, and he's in total control of his emotions. Now, I know that if you have a child who's melting down or acting out every single day, or breaking down into tears and screaming at the smallest thing, the thought of having a child who's calm and confident in a home that is daily meltdown free and peaceful again might seem like an impossible dream. But the good news I have for you is that where you are right now is exactly where Julie, Sarah, Lori, and Jeffrey were when they first came to work with me. They were all at their wits' end, not knowing what to do with their highly sensitive child, feeling completely lost and alone. And today, all 3 of these families have kids they love spending time with, a home that's calm and peaceful, and they're able to make joyful memories as a family. And that's why I'm so confident this can work for you too. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Megan, how do I know I have a highly sensitive child? Well, I'd have to have a conversation with you to make absolutely sure. But if your child is melting down and screaming 1 or more per day, if your child is acting out violently 1 or more times a day, if insignificant things sometimes create a huge emotional outburst in your child, there's an excellent chance that your child is highly sensitive. And that's why this requires a totally different approach. Now, if the meltdowns and fighting were destroying my happiness and peace of mind, and someone told me they'd helped over 612 other families solve the exact same problem with a 98.9% success rate, I would be like, yes, Megan, I'm in. Where do I sign up? So if that's all you need to hear, then click the button under this video and schedule a free breakthrough session with my team now. Here's how that works. We'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes. We'll ask you some questions, and you can tell us very honestly about your relationship with your child. What's working, what's not, and where you want to be. I want to hear about exactly what you're struggling with and what's holding you back. Then we'll put our heads together, and I'll show you exactly how to end the meltdowns starting today and help your kid stop shutting down, refusing, and isolating without endless negotiations, medication, years of therapy, or any of that stuff. My goal on this call is to give you a complete game plan for a calm, confident child that you can put into practice in your family starting today. And if you want my team's help to implement this game plan in your family to make sure you do it right the first time and end the daily meltdowns for good, we can talk about how to make that happen. If not, that's cool too. Either way, by the time we're done with this call, you're going to have a crystal clear path to a peaceful home and an amazing relationship with your calm, happy, confident child. So click the button under this video and schedule your free breakthrough session now. And by the way, this is not for everyone. We have 2 very strict requirements that you must meet in order to be eligible for this free breakthrough session. Number 1, you must be the parent of a child between the ages of 2 and 14 who's having meltdowns and you just don't know what to do. I'm not talking about a child who just argues sometimes or talks back a little. Most kids do that. Where I can help is where the child is melting down and acting out every day and you have no idea how to fix it. If that's not you, then please close this page right now. And 2, you must be willing to invest in yourself and your child to fix this once and for all. I've helped over 612 families just like you in the meltdowns, eliminate the outbursts, and feel like a strong, close-knit, loving family again. But it takes an investment in yourself to make that happen. So if you're not willing to do that, then I definitely cannot help you. But if your child is having daily meltdowns and outbursts and you're serious about helping them get past this and you're willing to invest what it takes to make that happen, then click the button under this video and book that free breakthrough session now. And by the way, if you want to know the secret to how and why this works so well, I'll give it to you in just 4 words. The Resilience Rewiring Protocol. Now, the reason that traditional parenting methods aren't working for you is very simple. You have a highly sensitive child. This means that your child feels all the same emotions that other kids do, but at a far, far higher level of intensity. The reasons for this are neurological and biochemical, but what it means for you is that traditional parenting methods and even traditional therapy methods will have the opposite effect on your child when they're stuck in the meltdown cycle. Spanking, scolding, yelling, timeouts, talk therapy sessions, medications, all of these things tend to make things worse for a highly sensitive child and not better. That's why if you've tried these things and it's totally backfired, it's not your fault. What your child needs more than anything is to learn resilience, to manage their emotions in a calm and powerful way. Resilience rewiring works with your child's unique neurology to give them the skills that they need to regulate their emotions in the moment so that they can process their big feelings without the outbursts and meltdowns. And the best part about this, it's fun. You, as the parent, will be able to connect with your child in a real and powerful way through this process. Your child will feel heard and understood by you, and they won't be afraid to open up about what they're feeling and experiencing, but in a calm, healthy, and loving way. Please understand this. A highly sensitive child is different. What you learned from your parents, good or bad, what you've read in books, or what you've heard on podcasts, if they are not specializing in highly sensitive children, most of what you're learning is dead wrong. It won't just be ineffective, it will make things worse, and you won't understand why. That's why the Resilience Rewiring Protocol is the key that you've been missing. It's different from the conventional wisdom because your child is not a conventional child. And that means that you need an unconventional but proven approach to meet your child's unique needs and help them to self-manage their big emotions. And that means this whole thing is not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you as a parent. It's just that this is a different kind of situation with a different kind of child, and the usual stuff just isn't going to work. So, it's absolutely 100% not your fault. But now that you know this, you owe it to yourself and your child to try a different, better, proven approach that's just right for your kid. This is your chance, right here, right now, to give your child the emotional resilience they need to cope with and manage those big emotions they're feeling. And the bad news is that if they don't learn to self-regulate by the time they're adults, it can set them up for some very ugly things down the road. Highly sensitive children who don't learn resilience are more likely to use drugs, more likely to self-harm, more likely to commit suicide, more likely to have bad relationships. Understand, the intensity of their feelings is probably unlike anything you've ever felt before. Now, when it's channeled properly, highly sensitive children are passionate, enthusiastic world changers. They see things other people don't and feel a joy and fullness of life that can lead them into tremendous joys and achievements. But if they don't learn resilience, or if they're punished over and over for their feelings, they can learn that those feelings are wrong, and they can start to punish themselves for feeling that way, or turn to drugs or self-harm to try to escape them. And that's why it's so vital that you grab this opportunity right now to give your highly sensitive child the skills and resilience they need to turn their big feelings into a big, beautiful, richly lived life. The time is right now. If you wait until they're too old, it only gets tougher and tougher for them and for you. This is not a phase. They will not grow out of this. They will not learn this on their own. They will either continue to act out and melt down or withdraw into themselves until you don't even recognize your kid anymore. And that's when really bad things happen. So take action right now. Help your child. Help yourself. Book that breakthrough call with my team. It's 100% free. And I promise you that one conversation will transform the way that you look at your child and show you the way back to a peaceful home again and a happy, fulfilled, joyful child who loves you. I'm Megan Thompson, licensed clinical professional counselor, registered play therapist supervisor, and transformational parenting coach.